listener production.
Hi, Natasha Belling with you and welcome to this bonus episode of The Briefing. Today we're bringing you an extraordinary story by our colleagues at Secrets We Keep Uncovered. It's a two-part interview with the parents of a teenage boy with autism who was radicalised by undercover Australian police officers. They share how they turned to police for help after their son developed problematic behaviour as a result of being bullied at school. But their trust would be betrayed in a way they never imagined possible. For more on this story, you can follow Secrets We Keep wherever you get your podcasts. The link is in our show notes.
Joey Watson here, and this is Secrets We Keep Uncovered, where we bring you some of the most important investigations of our time with our expanding network of sources in Australia and beyond. Early in 2024, a story made headlines that was hard to believe. It was about a counter-terrorism operation undertaken by the AFP, the Australian Federal Police.
The AFP under fire over a case that began in late 2020 when it began investigating a boy with autism known by the pseudonym Thomas Carrick.
Court documents revealed that undercover AFP officers had been found to radicalise an autistic teenager before charging him with terrorism offences.
According to court documents, undercover officers groomed Thomas, sending information about an 11-year-old who'd committed murder.
They'd pushed him towards Islamic extremism.
Evidence showed Thomas was naive, asking, "Could I join the kids section of IS?"
The boy, given the pseudonym Thomas Carrick to protect his identity, had been referred to police by his own parents, who were seeking help for their vulnerable son.
A Victorian Children's Court magistrate dismissed the case,
saying the AFP's conduct fell profoundly short of the minimum standards expected, adding Thomas's rehabilitation was thwarted.
In Canberra, when the story broke, the AFP came under fire.
It was the AFP that was radicalising the child. The radicalisation was happening as a result of the actions of your own officers.
That was not our intent and not our purpose.
It's what you did.
Away from the headlines and the fiery exchanges, we've heard very little from the family at the centre of this. Recently, I heard through my sources that they were ready to tell their story. So in the next two episodes of Uncovered, I speak to Thomas's mum and dad, who are speaking publicly for the first time. Their identities are also protected. After approaching the police for help, Thomas's parents were met with layers of lies and deception that tore their family apart. Before we start, a content warning. This episode contains strong language. We'll also discuss sensitive topics around intellectual disability, autism, terrorism, and Islamophobia. We've had to remove some details so that Thomas and his family can't be identified.
He was the joy of our house. As a child, he was a very sweet boy, a very innocent, very easygoing, loving, and he was very funny.
Thomas's birth was not just joyful, it was an anchor for the family to their new home, especially for his mum.
Especially Joey, for me, Thomas was the reason that I actually liked this country. I got used to this, or I got connection. He is actually the reason that I stopped missing my family back in my country. Like wherever I took him, I just got that connection with those places.
But as Thomas grew, his parents started to notice more unique aspects of his personality.
Since his early childhood, he got different fixations, like on specific toys like aeroplanes, or specific cartoons like Mickey Mouse, or talking about the same things repeatedly.
According to Thomas's dad, it wasn't just about cartoons.
Toilets, toilet seats. He got fixated for some reason with them. You may or not recall there used to be a store like Bunnings called Masters a while ago, and they had a big display of these toilets. And he always used to tell me, can we go to Masters? And I said, what do you want to do, Masters? Just looking at the bloody toilets.
At school, Thomas's teacher observed that he was having difficulties fitting in.
They prompted us that he is not socializing as much. He is always alone on his own, not following the teacher's instructions. So these were some of the things that we were noticing. And when the kinder, they encouraged us, to take him to a pediatrician and get him checked for those behaviors that he was displaying at that time. So then the pediatrician, he diagnosed him with autism.
Nevertheless, things went relatively well.
Actually, he was a very happy child.
He was easygoing.
He had a very caring nature.
And his teachers liked him.
And the other thing about him was that he was very easy to pick up on the rules, and then he was always very compliant on them. Like in his early school years, his teacher, they actually described him as their helper. He was the one who actually kept reminding the kids about the class rules. The teacher, they often jokingly, they described him as a class monitor.
Yeah, no, 100%. You are right. If there was a thing on a footpath, a branch fallen from a tree, a small one, or a stone, or whatever, or some rubbish, for example, he used to remove them, and the rubbish he used to bring it home. So care was to that extent, and the thing he always wanted in reward was acknowledgement of that. And you did very well today, that's such a good thing you have done, that acknowledgement.
Were you offered any support after Thomas was diagnosed with autism?
Joy, at that time, there were no very structured supports like we have the NDIS today. So we didn't have that back then. But we had some volunteer agencies that were actually in a limited capacity. They were funding some therapies. And we also privately funded some intensive therapies for Thomas. I actually got a career break when Thomas was diagnosed, and I just focused completely on him and his care. And me and my husband, we also self-learned. We attended different courses and classes to get educated around this and how we can best help him in the difficulties that he was facing.
But overall, especially in the early years, it was manageable, right?
He was a child with special needs who struggled with socializing or making friendship. He wanted acknowledgement, which he was getting from us. So yeah, it was completely manageable.
But as the years went on, just like many kids living with autism, Thomas started to face serious challenges.
So tell me about when the bullying started.
Joy, I would say that it was a gradual thing. It started early on, when he started school.
Yeah, that's all right.
I don't know, I'm just a bit emotional. I didn't expect it. I wouldn't be able.
No, that's perfectly okay.
It's completely fine to be emotional, please. Yeah.
So, Joy, since his early years, he actually struggled to fit in. And his main issue was the socializing aspect of his life. He couldn't be able to make friends. The early incidents we noticed was when he was growing up to a bit later classes, maybe grade 2 or end of grade 1 or something. When the kids, I think, around him started noticing that he is very impressionable, can easily be misled. So then he started coming back home with the complaints somebody taunted me, somebody have hit me.
He said, how do I fit in? How do I belong to where I am? He started doing funny things outside the school. He used to sit so that people can see him. He was showing off that, hey, I'm here. Yes, I have issues, but I want to be part of you, So that seeking attraction, belonging, connection, he was trying. He was rejecting. He said, how do I fit in?
And I remember he was always anxious to go to school every morning.
When Thomas got older, the bullying escalated.
The children started calling him Taliban, Osama. We never discussed such things at home.
The first thing I remember is that once he came back from the school and he asked me that, Mama, what is this 9/11? What is this about? Who is Osama bin Laden? And that really shocked me. My son, who is already with autism, with very less awareness of everything around him, how could he came to know, or how this kind of a topic is being discussed with him, or how he came to know about it. So that was the first time when he started asking us questions related to Muslims, Osama bin Laden. He used to say that kids call me that you can be a good leader of Taliban one day. I think one of a trigger, he actually wanted to know, why is the kid referring me to those things? So who are they actually? He was not at that maturity level where he can comprehend even.
No child is.
Like even he didn't even know the basic things about religion even. Because of his autism, he was lacking quite behind in those things.
He had no understanding at all. He started thinking about it, who they are, started asking questions, became curious. These phones, internets are readily available. Who is Osama? Who are Taliban? So he started finding more about them.
How long did it take for you to begin seeing changes with Thomas?
I would say that it just happened very rapidly. He started facing that kind of a religious-based bullying. By the end of that year, he started mimicking those bullying or those kind of terms what they were using. He actually started mimicking that. Once I actually heard from the school that we are very concerned and there is an incident where he's in response to somebody actually teased him, and in response to that,
Thomas responded with violent threats.
That was troubling.
Thomas began to realize that the more he mimicked, the more he got noticed. So he started saying things like,
Hey, do you know I'm Osama?
As in Osama bin Laden.
I'm Taliban, repeating them what they wanted to hear.
Those kids actually, they gave him attention, which he always was seeking throughout his life. Somebody was finally noticing him. There were occasions when they actually encouraged him.
Yeah, they were demanding it, he was doing it, but not acceptable to us or anyone. It was concerning, that behavior.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about the process that you went through to try and get help.
So I took him to the pediatrician for advice or also to educate him. So the pediatrician, he talked to him. He referred a psychologist and then started having the psychological assessments. They came to a conclusion that it's never been his ideology. He never had any intent. It's all trying to fit in. It's all like, kind of a behavior where he's seeking attention or he is doing a shock thing so that the people can pay attention to him.
As Thomas progressed to high school, his parents realized that he might need to be placed in a school that could provide him with more support.
When he went to high school, we requested Department of Education. We said, look, he has issues, his IQ is low, consider him in a special school.
At that time, we thought that will be the best match for him, considering all the problems around him.
So the threshold was IQ level 70. He was 71. They said, no, he is more than the benchmark to be in the special school. He can't be in the special school.
So Thomas stays in the same school and the bullying gets worse.
The kids, they actually started enjoying like him saying very out of ordinary or very concerning things. In his science class, there were different chemicals. And the kids, they actually kind of gave him an idea that, look, there can be an explosive made of those things. And he actually came back home and he was talking about that. I know if you combine this, and this ingredient, it will make a bomb. And can we just go and buy this ingredient?
This was disturbing. But Thomas's parents felt that he was never seriously planning any kind of real violence. And this was supported by the assessments of his psychologists at the time.
The intent was never there. It was the same pattern of behaviors.
And the school knew all these things. I had a number of meetings with the school psychologist, with the school assistant principal, with a private psychologist. How about we work together? Okay, we asked for simple things which they could have provided, such as a teacher aid. Children with special needs, they do get one-on-one teacher aid in schools. Now that was denied.
He didn't qualify for that as per the minimum threshold that he can have an access to a teacher aid in his class.
So all the efforts to find the right support, to raise that awareness that he has special needs, unfortunately, every door was closed
So with every door shut, they turned to one last place. It would change the trajectory of their child's life.
So what led you to the police?
We were desperate to look for some help. We were extremely worried that he can easily be exploited by any external influence, by somebody can actually approach him and he could be like, a dangerous person, and everything that we thought that it failed. I was very worried. So we went to the police to seek that protection.
What led us to reach out to police is vulnerabilities. He can be easily influenced, he can be manipulated, he can be exploited.
So that was in April 2021 when we first called them. And then they actually arranged a meeting with us. So then we went along with his laptop, everything, and then we met them in their police station.
We walked in there not to report a criminal. We went there, hey, this person is special, autism, he fixates, his behaviors concern us, he is vulnerable, this is what we have tried.
I told them that, look, my son has been gone through all this, and this is what the bullying or everything that made him do or say things that are a very serious behavior of concerns.
Court documents show that the AFP had already begun investigating Thomas months prior. He'd been reported in December 2020 as he'd been viewing extremist material on school computers and had made threats to students. Thomas's parents say that the police listened to their concerns.
They acknowledged and shared what we went with, and we went with describing the problem, which was acknowledged. During the meeting we had with a lot of experts in that police station that day, which gave us assurance that, we are at the right place. Said it to us that, yes, there is a program called CVE that helps out in interventions, engagements, radicalization, whatever you name it. De-radicalization.
CVE stands for Countering Violent Extremism. It's how governments and law enforcement refer to policies and initiatives aimed at preventing individuals from becoming involved in violent extremism or terrorism. Soon after that meeting, things got moving.
We were connected to CVE. A case manager was appointed.
The CVE case manager was appointed by police to oversee Thomas's pathway away from extremist behaviour.
The CVE will develop a tailored plan for our child, which is specific to his needs, plan development, and then implement it in collaboration with all stakeholders, and stakeholders being school, stakeholder being psychologist, stakeholder being anything and everything that surround our child. The coordinator started coming to our home. We gave the coordinator full access to our lives. Hey, these are our children, this is our home, this is his psychologist, this is what we have done up till now, what made us to seek help. Okay, so whatever you need, that is on offer, full access, whatever you need. If you need information from the schools, you have our full consent for the purpose of providing the required help to our child. With the case manager, we literally found her that she is part of our family.
As part of the CVE de-radicalisation plan, Thomas is scheduled to meet regularly with an imam or religious scholar. The family is told that this is to help him connect with a more peaceful version of Islam.
The imam will commence his mentoring sessions with you, and he will come to your place twice a week or once a week.
Once a week.
Once a week, okay. Yeah. Wednesday was the day, but that was flexible. Sometime Wednesday, if the imam busy, Thursday, or if we are busy, then, but it was like that.
Thomas started his weekly sessions with the Imam in the middle of 2021, just a couple of months after his mum and dad had gone to the police.
The Imam came, a very nice fellow, and I said, I'm going to sit with you guys, I want to hear and learn what you tell him so that while you are not here, I can continue the strategies you are adopting with him as well. So like trainer sort of a thing. So the first question was in the first meeting, hey, convince me so that I can join ISIS. That was the very first question. And I started looking at the Imam. What the hell is happening? That's how the discussion started. And continued during that first thing. When the session concluded, I said, hey, Sheikh, what is happening here? It doesn't seem right? What we are trying to achieve here is that he know the fundamentals of the religion. It is peace. He has no ideology at all, neither of ISIS nor of the religion, or in fact nothing. Can we work on making his foundation and then build on that? It concerns me what you have said. And he said, hey, I come here prepared, consulting after consultation with our in-house psychologist. Okay, I come here with a script. Okay, we discussed it before coming here. I said, look, it concerns me, but you are the expert, right? You are collaborating with CVE. We have full trust in the system, everything, but it doesn't seem right.
The strange lessons from the Imam wasn't the only thing that made Thomas's parents feel a bit off in the months after they approached police. Until now, Thomas's interactions with extremist material had been mostly limited to Google searches, but soon he starts talking about a new friend he's made online. His name is...
He was saying, leave this topic, what do you think about the New Zealand thing?
The New Zealand thing is the Christchurch terrorist attack, where an armed Australian white nationalist killed 51 people during Friday prayer at 2 mosques. Thomas's dad was worried.
Did you tell the CVE people from the police about this?
We did. Picked the phone. Hey, this is what is happening. Someone is talking to our child.
And before that, we already asked the CVE to take away the devices, but they always refused. But from this incident,
we said, look, help us so that there can be control over the devices and we know what he's doing. You've been experts. If we go and find some IT person independently, I think it's not appropriate. It has to be collaborative. And we suggest that we do something where we can control, we can see, we can find out what he is doing,
And certain things can be blocked. There should be some parental control.
And 100% there would be something. So can you help with that? They brushed that off. So when this thing happened, we called them again. So we reported in the evening. They came early next morning. Hey, here is the computer. Here are the chats.
And how did the police officer respond when he came to look at your house?
He took photos of the chat from the screen onto his mobile.
Thomas's parents say that the police officer that was meant to help control his access to technology didn't really seem to take it that seriously.
And I didn't know then, but I know now that smirking on his face, that smile, that
we couldn't understand.
We couldn't understood then, but now it is very clear to us why he had. And he said, look, we need to do something. We need to seize, no control anymore. We need to seize this access.
Thomas's parents insisted that Thomas was an easy target. Their child was at risk.
You know our child's vulnerability, and now you know that there is somebody engaging with him online on the same topics, and he looks like a dangerous person. So
and also, that look, he's vulnerable, he can be influenced. That's the whole thing we are trying to develop and implement.
That's actually happening.
And this is actually happening. And the second thing is, get onto that person. His name is He's in Sydney. Look, you have systems and procedures. In case if you want to go and get the real person, this is the opportunity. Go get him. He said, leave it with us. Don't worry about it. And
we know what we are doing.
We know what we are doing, and you can give your computer back to your child.
Yeah.
Okay. We said, okay, they know what they are doing. The full trust is there.
And you also had youth officers visiting your home. This was separate to the imam, and they were becoming particularly close to your son, right?
They arranged, the youth officers started coming to a place and taking him for a walk nearby and talking to him, and we were very happy with that as well.
So happy, in fact, that the family even encouraged them to do something special for Thomas's birthday.
His birthday came, and we said, hey, he is engaging, he seems to be happy with the youth officers. How about we strengthen this relationship between CVE and our child to a next level? And his birthday is coming. We know what present he wants for his birthday. How about I buy you the present or give you the money to buy it, and instead of us present that present to our child, you do it, because we know what he wants. She said, wow, great idea. Okay, he wanted a jumper, you know, the footy thing. So they said, oh, don't worry about it. That's very good, and that will help us as well. Knock on the door on his birthday, and a big cake came.
The cake was from Victoria Police. It was white and blue.
We said, oh, how helpful they are, how good they are. You know, we love these people. They are really trying to help.
These gestures gave the family some confidence and caused them to overlook some of the signs that things weren't as they seemed. But soon after Thomas's birthday, the imam that was tutoring him, who'd been a big cause of concern to begin with, did something that was difficult to ignore.
Sheikh was sitting in the lounge, mentoring session. As per normal, I joined them, and Sheikh said to me, can you take my mobile phone somewhere away? He said, no, I want to tell you something. Can you take it away? I took it and put it in my study room in the cupboard up. There was one thing which I noted. When you unlock your mobile phone, and at the front, whatever screensaver you have, that comes, you know. I noticed when he was unlocking his phone, the police monogram used to come. You know, the badge, the police people, you know. Look, he is working for CV, so none of my concern or anything, you know. But anyway, I got a bit suspicious that if you want to tell me something, what the mobile phone got to do with it? And he said, look, whatever we been discussing, it's all recorded.
The family says that the imam confessed that he was secretly recording the sessions on behalf of the police. Victoria Police contest this.
They are doing it wrong. I can't be part of it. Today is my last day with you guys. I just can't be part of what they are trying to do. And I've been recording all these things, and I was gathering evidence. I said, what the hell? He said, I seek your forgiveness, and I fear that on the day of judgment. Okay? What he said was exactly on the day of judgment.
He was saying that how will I face Allah on the day of judgment?
Okay,
please forgive me.
How will I please forgive me?
This is the same.
I've been used, I've been compromised. And trust me, I really want to help your child. He has the problem. I can help, but not in the capacity through CVE. I can help him in private. Okay, so I'm disclosing this to you. I was extremely upset. He left. Then he rang that evening again, very late, again repeating, please forgive me. I couldn't recognize that number. I picked it anyway, and he said, "This is my wife's mobile number. I seek your forgiveness. Please forgive me and trust me. He needs help. I can help. I want to help, but in my independent capacity." That was the last meeting.
Shortly after this day, the family was informed that there would be a multi-agency meeting. The experts and stakeholders involved in Thomas's rehabilitation were all going to come together to develop a plan for the boy's future.
The case manager, she invited all the stakeholders to our family home.
The date was set for October 6, 2021.
Did you feel anxious about the fact that this had all just happened with the imam?
Yeah, there was that thing in my heart, but I was not able to completely understand it.
We trusted blindly, Joey. We had issues with the imam since the beginning. So when he confessed that, we were shocked, we were in disbelief, but we couldn't believe that CVE can be a part of that. They still had our trust.
So the meeting goes ahead with all the stakeholders gathered in the house.
The psychologist, his private psychologist, the school representative, we were sitting in our living room. The plan was showing that what we will be doing, who will be doing what in that plan, roles and responsibilities, some timelines. The discussion initiated, hey, this is a draft plan. We will tweak it as we go. We will learn from our mistakes and this is a living plan, not a final one.
But just as they're pulling the plan together, the meeting is interrupted by a knock on the door.
I opened the door, looked into my front yard, the street full of police cars and dozens of police. I think an army of police, I would call it. A lot of people, lots and lots of them. The whole street was full of vehicles. And he said, "We got a warrant. We are going to arrest your child." Where is he? Upstairs. He came down. He was handcuffed. And he was arrested. And the charges being that he pledged to this bloody ISIS and he was advocating terrorism. He was talking about it. He was spreading that poison. So my mindset right at that time of the arrest being that my child has done something wrong. And that resulted me saying, which is on the record, in fact in the court justice as well, I said, if you have done something wrong, you will not have the support from this home.
Amongst the confusion, Thomas's mum tries to get some sort of answer from the police.
I was asking him questions like, what happened? What has he done? And in response to that, he showed me a picture of him with a knife with ISIS written on it. And he said that, look, he did this. It's an illegal act. And then I asked him, like, how did you got this picture? Like, how do you know? Like, I was curious to know, like, I was actually shocked and I wanted to know who got this picture or how they...
What's the source of it?
Yeah, what is the source of it? So I asked, how did you get the picture? Then, like, few things he showed me, and he was saying that this is the evidence that we have collected and this is why we are charging him. And with every evidence, I asked him, like, how did you get it? And he said, this is what our undercover operators have able to get out from him. Like, this is what the undercover operators have provided us. For me, that was like that first moment when I realized that something terribly wrong that police have done to him.
Thomas was subjected to Victoria's strictest bail conditions for a child, lasting 2 years, which severely restricted his freedom and development. He lost touch with people that he knew, and through this isolation, he was thrust into stress. The family was devastated, and And soon they'd learn about the details of the undercover operation that had been carried out against their son.
What we learned was that chat was for that long that when they scripted it, it was 1,400 pages. Okay? 1,400 pages in 55 days.
That's in part 2.
That was shocking. That's beyond imagination. They were always after gold. They were after the target.
It'll be in your feed from Tuesday. The AFP declined to answer our questions and instead referred us to previous comments, which we'll link in the show notes. Victoria Police claimed that the imam assigned to the family through their Countering Violent Extremism program did not record without the family's knowledge or consent. We'll put their full comments in the show notes too. And while I've got you, a plea from me: if you want to support our journalism, it would be amazing if you could leave a review or share this podcast with someone you think should hear it. This episode of Secrets We Keep Uncovered was hosted and produced by me, Joey Watson. Supervising producer was Claudiana Blanco. Fact-checking was done by Holly Mitchell. And the sound designer is Matt Nikolic. It was recorded on Gadigal and Wurundjeri lands.